So how can a werewolf fight ghosts?
Oh, not easily. They're like lightning ghosts. They're not even normal ghosts. So we have to really, right now they're also on horses. So they're like 3 times the size of us. So they're lightning ghosts on horses. And it's no easy task, my friend, let me tell you now. We have to be really, really creative with the ways that we defeat these guys. It's not just a couple of punches or some spell or something crazy. We have to really get creative and figure out how the hell we can defeat these dudes, because they're a lot different than being ghosts. Is a lot different than bless you. Is a lot different than any villain we've kind of dealt with before. So it adds a weird element. Absolutely.
How do you feel about Scott being single this year?
I think it's a very necessary thing. I think everybody in their lives needs to experience that one way or another. You know, especially in the growing brain years of young adult Scott, because when I was his age and I was in a relationship and kind of bouncing around from relationship to relationship, I didn't know enough about myself, you know, and as soon as I kind of separated from the relationship world, I really figured out kind of who I was and became more and more just sure of who I was and where I want to be and how to get to where I want to be, and I was able to articulate thoughts better and easier. And so I think everybody just kind of needs that moment of clarity from life, and Scott had never done that since season 1. He was in love with Allison, then broke up with Allison and immediately fell in love with Kira, and this is our first time seeing Scott without Kira, and so I think it's an extremely necessary thing. He's able to focus on the world more and his friends and his pack without being so much distracted, you know. Saving Kira's life got him into a lot of shit, you know, and so now that there's no girls around, he's able to really focus on the pack and saving the world and his friends and making sure that Beacon Hills survives without him if he ever has to leave, you know.
You do music also. Who are some other musicians you'd like to collaborate with?
Blink-182, absolutely. I'm collaborating with Jack Bearcat from All Time Low. I want to collaborate with the entire band of All Time Low, Offspring, NoFX, Figure It Out, Neck Deep, State Champs. I want to collaborate with Newfound Glory. Sum 41 would be dope. Good Charlotte just came out with a new album. Anybody punk. Anybody on Warped Tour.
Yeah, I had the same question from
Incubus.
At Posey's Fingers. Somebody had that question, so.
Awesome.
With Yoga Hosers coming out, what are you excited for fans to see you doing that?
Comedy. It's outrageous comedy, and it's a little dark too. And I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith and have been my most of my life. And so I'm really excited to see the fans. And Kevin Smith, you know, I feel like when I was a kid, there were a lot more fans of Kevin Smith. And as my fans, you know, that generation, I'm sure don't really know Kevin Smith that well because they're kind of not his generation. And this will be a good introduction to them, to the Kevin Smith world. And it's a little different than most Kevin Smith films. If you saw Tusk, you kind of have a better sense of what this movie is going to be about. But I think that the new kids, the new generation of these fans are going to have a good introduction to the Kevin Smith films with this one. It's definitely a dark comedy, but it's good. It's great, and I love it. And the 2 chicks in it are Harley Quinn Smith and Lily Rose Depp, and they carry that film so damn well. I love it. They're good.
You said there's some comedy this season. Do you get to do any?
For Teen Wolf? I mean, every now and then, you know, Scott's always been kind of the awkward, little naive, vulnerable kid, kind of, and as strong and as confident as he grows, he still is that little, he's a little naive and a little awkward. And there's always time for comedy when it comes to that. So yeah, absolutely. We always mess around with comedy and lighthearted moments in Teen Wolf. It's one of the things I've loved the most about the show since day one, is that with the good balance of horror, drama, action, and comedy. So yes.